Hi, Hinstas. Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome to. Let me just turn my phone on silent. No distractions today. Yeah, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome to. You can check out the description box below for info on readings with me and so on. And please, give this video a like and subscribe if you like what I do. So we are back in the streams of Creme Brulee, talking today about Venus. And this is a big one, a long one, with Venus being in Leo from around June 6th to October 9th, with an intermittent retrograde between July 22nd to September 2nd. And I think the retrograde might provide for some a long spiritual night of sorts, something ardent, that Leonite waiting in the desert that I think I mentioned in a previous video. It can easily be a retrograde when we get pulled back into that feeling of big beating heart for that passion or that person. But yes, this Venus in Leo transit, generally, more broadly, Venus is coming out of Cancer, the shadow side of the heart signs, what I call the heart signs, and entering the light side of the heart signs, and spending so much time here. Many of us entering a new upbeat circle. Venus rules circles and cycles, and we are entering, some of us, new rituals. This is the King of Hearts kind of making a big appearance. There is heightened laughter, joy, pleasure. Now, Venus starts this transit with an exact opposition to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. I get here a very ultimate message of head high, no looking back. This is really or easily a time to fuck it up. Pardon my French, but fuck it up. Fuck up the night, as Beyonce says. And it's a big ass time to fall in love, obviously. And I also get here kind of Lady Gaga spirit, like Aphrodite, baby, just having fun and admiring people's bodies and showing off our own bodies, being body positive. Venus and Mars will be co present in Leo. Leo, a fixed masculine fire sun ruled sign. Like, come on, man. This is also hot love. It's confessing raw emotions. It's also like Madonna vibes. It's gambling with our desires and our lovers. If we have had lovers, take us by surprise too. It's like a hookup boy or girl or MB baby or fuck buddy. The fuck buddy is really something more. And there's an adoration there too. A lovely soft holding of hands, a quiet yet very sexy and steamy intimacy. And this brings to mind also the story of Orpheus going into the underworld to get back Eurydice. How do you pronounce that? I'm not Greek. Eurydice, which he can do, provided he doesn't look back on his return to the surface from the underworld. But he does. But provided he doesn't look back, he can actually get her back. Now we need to keep seeing then the stars and keep knowing that we can go far and not be tempted by that fear, or I guess that anxiety to look back. But some of us will look back, and I think there's a lesson in that as well, that some things, they are meant to be left to rest and ended. But I think we just need to kind of shake our ass and keep it moving. Of course, we come off here as Venus enters Leo, we come just off this full moon in Sagittarius. So what is done, and a lot can't be helped now. But I see a lot of us moving forward, yet not necessarily forgetting these lovers, whether they be people or things or places. And it's like we are carrying them ahead with us in our hearts, and maybe even hoping we will see them again for another good time in the future. And we can, or we do have this burning passion for the potential, which is fine, I think, but we can't look back or get mired in what it was versus what it actually is. And we are kind of, yeah, bringing something or someone forward with us, like Orpheus was trying to do. I just think that we do have to be brave in doing that. And Venus enters Leo, also hosted by the Sun, exactly 15 degrees in Gemini, in the most concentrated degree of Geminian energy. It's slap bang in the middle. So Geminian influence is absolutely coming through here, and this is very much the lovers coming through, twin flame shiz, like continuing to be really turned on by some very special person or thing. And this Sun host will be sextiling Chiron at 19 degrees of Aries as well. You might know I like to talk a lot about Chiron. I'm a Chiron ascendant. But from this, I gather an awakening for many of life purpose, mystical states of illumination. Like, Hades was Chiron's half brother by some actual accounts. And Chiron was also raised or tutored by Apollo, the god of the sun. And this is also, this transit is like teachers listening to their teachers, like, or remembering what their own teachers told them. It's also with Venus here, a bit like nurses, because Venus rules nurses. And who nurses the nurses, right? Like, who cares for the care worker? And Chiron and Venus, kind of in this conversation, I think they really blend here on the themes of energies of themes and energies of light, music, poetry, healing, truth, and prophecy. It's like deep nighttime ardent passion, and like thinking about desires that we have for someone or something. This is like an invitation for pleasure and enjoyment, joy, and those who are fond of play, because this is like cat spirit. It's music making, it's embroidery. Gemini really coming through here as well. It's perfume making. It's like the scent of love. Um, Ears, nibbling ears, and like mixing of colors. It is the blending also of pain and lovely memories, bittersweetness. And Chiron sextile the sun brings individualization, or like a diffusion of consciousness as well, and like a focusing also on our consciousness, like more focus, more illumination. Like, why are we so broken if we are? And like, why are we crying if we are? Like, what's the objective sort of bird's eye perspective or reason for that? And this is like a nurturing of our pain. This is like being wanted and loved. And Venus is like the high priestess in the tarot too. And it kind of here, like a tiger side of the mother spirit is coming out, this leonite energy meowing and roaring its way into our lives and like pushing us to be proud of this or that regardless. And I feel with Venus opposing Pluto, there will be themes of chasing someone or trying to attract someone who is just spiritually asleep or subterranean for whatever reason. And we may need to ask also, what and who are we not listening to regarding our resources or our values or maybe our aesthetics? And for me, like, I'm always haunted by my adolescent sort of advice to live within your means. And like, and I often meet people who just keep echoing this, live within your means. And for me to stop, being such a disastrous spender, not simply of money, but like all the types of resource that I mindlessly sometimes give out. And it's like buying things, even though you know you don't have the money, or that harsher pain will come down the line, but you still do it. Maybe there is like this undying faith that it will be okay for some people. And personally, I have Jupiter natally conjunct the South Node in Leo, so I have a very um, interesting relationship with Leo energy. But it's also a kind of crisis management for some, I think, this transit, like eating our emotions. And I would also say that Venus in Leo here reminds us to wash away negativity, quite literally, to take those showers and those baths and like to wash that hair, those locks, and like Venus rules cleanliness. And with Leo so strong right now too, I'd say let's not be too proud or showy if we can help it, to follow the signs as well and forgo the fickledom. So like you just look for those signs that are pointing you to what you should or shouldn't do, and try not to succumb too much to the strong Geminian influence that can, of course, throw us off big time. So we are watching out here, right, for the little monsters of that Frankenstein sort of side. Well, not really Frankenstein, but like Jekyll and Hyde type thing. During this, which is always like kind of tripping us up. And during this transit, then we can also, I think, charm our way into or out of something like Orpheus, and the enchanting music that he played for Pluto. But there will anyway be a very critical condition to be honored. So even though Orpheus kind of played this music and sort of hypnotized Pluto and got his kind of wish sort of granted, there's this honestly just means that there's no quick fix spell in our life, and there's always a tax to pay, even if we think we got away. And Venus is also like encouraging us, I think, to embrace that, yeah, all good things come to an end, and to laugh everything off, kind of in that Capricorn way sometimes. Getting Capricorn right now, but that Capricorn way of dark humor, even, or just that way that you just kind of need to laugh it off. um, and to also stay grounded or in the middle. And there's this sensible Geminian air thing going on, this middle grounding, a necessity or a necessary ability to flit between the different sides, like Gemini can, between attachment and detachment, and to accept that some parts of this transit for some people will mean painful exclusions, or admissions of loneliness, or being alone, or being on this kind of lone wolf sort of thing. It's a bit like turning up to a party and everyone but you has a partner. Gemini season can be like that. And the people around you, they're nice, but they're kind of excluding as well, and maybe even pitying you for some reason. And I think we should just have fun here in all of this and like put ourselves out there. It's a light season, um, even if it feels scary. And this can be in the realm of jobs or employment, also, not just romance or not just about people. And Venus here can really award actually big positions and titles, especially nepotism will be rampant with all this Leonite energy, Martian energy as well, and getting things and like lovely experiences that are just the returning of favors, the pleasant coming full circle of things. That is Venus as well. And enchanting people and lovely people and like appealing people will be chosen and will prevail. And Venus rules things like the wearing of golden ornaments, of crowns. Here, especially during the retrograde, I think some of us will get a chance to reclaim those real, like spiritual as well, real or spiritual kind of pieces of jewelry, gems, and to wear them. This is like Sailor Moon energy, very much so. Geminis will understand what I mean, but this is Sailor Moon energy, um, and to wear these gems proudly. And Gemini comes in strong here too, just begging some of us to dive into things like proposals and getting married and like running away with the whole shotgun hug fantasy of love. And Venus is like the gold spinner spirit as well, which is gelling so nicely with Gemini right now. And we can forge relations here with someone wealthy, for example, or abundant or regal somehow. And of course, Venus rules trades and shops and giving and receiving, which also gels very well with mercurial energies. And it's yeah, a lovely time, I think, for good business, especially. I think I mentioned this before in a video, but especially if you are that more outgoing social type of business person, it's just very good energy. And this is also assistance from females or feminine figures, especially people you've already been pairing up with. Here a good reputation can be secured. And I've got this sort of Power Rangers image in my head now, like a teaming up vibe that can take on anything. Any big kind of, the end of the episode, big monster can be taken down if you just team up with people. And it's like holding hands with lovely people who can take us higher and further. And maybe some of these people will be fucking us as well, or we're fucking them, or both. But ultimately, our hearts have to be open also. And many of us still need to believe in ourselves, forgive ourselves, and know that our spirit has to be blossoming, especially once Cancer season comes around. You just have to blossom, baby. Like, let it all wash over you and bask, baby. By Cancer season time, you need to be in that like state of mind. And I think some will really be able during this time to recover their resources or to fight for what is theirs. That could be materially or otherwise. And Gemini, by the way, is a masculine light energy. It's mutable or double bodied and it sextiles Leo. And it's going to keep protruding during this Venusian transit and it will keep wanting to spice and shake things up and to stimulate not just the big heart, but the racing mind, and to keep relationships interesting and to keep things like not too stuck in just one or two set visions. And I think, yeah, overall, many of us will be landing in relationships or situationships where we might start to fixate on and excitedly think about someone. And perhaps that is relating, yes, to our higher selves or higher purpose and our spirit guides and our ancestors. A lot of people are going through their Saturn return right now, if you have Saturn in Pisces natally. And I feel that some will finally find that one or two persons or more who are truly stars in their lives, who will protect them and who we will also want to protect and like share everything with. This is, sexy, loyal sun energy. It's dependable and commending as well. And Venus rules honor and ritual and sacrifice as well, or more like what's the word? Homage, like a ritualistic temple type of homage. And also Venus rules infinites. And at the end of the day, a piece of you is going to be given back to you. Somebody out there, up there, will always be your friend. You will always have each other in that very spiritual sense. And there will always be sympathy returned to you, though you might not expect it or it might not be right now. And love is the way. Even if you're on your own, be brave, be proud of what you're holding high, and don't look back. But also know that we are kind of looking ahead ardently, fixedly, in order to bring something back from the past in some cases, or back to life. That could just be a part of yourself that you're wanting to bring back to life. And like, know also that whatever your special heart held thing or person is for you and your spiritual path, that you're going to be fine. You're going to be okay. Yeah, that's all I have to say on this hump day. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.